But it's absolutely insane that you can point at last night's hockey game at two hockey players. Because I agree with Mulick that as a whole, that hockey game was not horrible. There was a lot of things to actually really like from that hockey game as a whole. The penalty kill went 4 for 5. I thought it was much, much better. And to Jarry's credit, he made some big saves on the PK. The power play went 1 for 2. They did their job. Matt Savoy had 3 points. Full credit to him. You got scoring from 5 different goal scorers in that hockey game. You came out of the gates early. You were up 2-0. Like, lots to like. They lost that hockey game because of 2 players who make a combined $15 million. Those 2 players make more than 10% of your cap. They make roughly 15% of your cap. And last night, they are the reason why you lost that hockey game. Inexcusable, cannot happen. And it's not just them to point the fingers at. Let's point the finger at Stan Bowman. Because, I mean, I clocked it from Jump Street. I said, this is a lateral move. If it would have been Skinner for Jarry and Jarry was $2 million retained and it's like, okay, there's some money here. This all kind of makes sense. Sure. You gave up assets and took on an albatross contract to do a lateral move. And I said in the moment, it could work. A change of scenery for Jarry, maybe wake up the group in front of them and kind of give them a bit of a boost of like, all right, we got a new goalie now. Like, we got to play good. I said there were ways where this deal could have worked, but I said it from Jump Street. It was an unnecessary risk to take. And right now we are seeing I said it was like doubling down on a 12, I think, at a blackjack table was my line. It's like, ooh, that's kind of dumb. But, you know, maybe the dealer's got a 10 and you're like, you've had a couple pops in you and you think, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go full J down and I'm doubling down on a 12. That is legitimately something he does, by the way.
Yes, we've witnessed it.
If it works, you look like a genius. If it doesn't, you look dumb because you went against the book. That is what this is looking like right now. Stan Bowman doubled down on a 12, and it was a face guard, and now he's sitting there going, ugh, whoops.
I'd love to know what happened to Jarry in the sense of like, because when we got him, he was fine. Like, I thought he played well in those handful of games.
Yeah.
He got injured. Obviously, how long was that? Was it just over a month, right? 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks, whatever. And then he's come back, and he's not even looked close to the same. And I think last night, you're right. To start the game, I thought he was perfect. I thought he was good. I thought he had a solid start to the game, and then all of a sudden, that first goal goes in. It just seems to kind of fall apart for him. And I did a bit of research today with a whiteboard.
Okay, I'm very excited for this research project because you haven't explained it to me.
Okay. So this is the whiteboard. So these are all the starts Tristan Jarry has had since he returned from his injury, which was against Nashville. I think it was like January 13th, something like that. So this is only starts. So this does not include the Washington game, which I think he came in relief, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he did, because Ingram got pulled. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. The Oilers have won twice. There was obviously the shutout against Vancouver, and then the prime game, the Beckett-Seneca game, I like to call it, actually, where they won that game as well against the Ducks. So this column is the deserve to win meter from Money Puck, which is basically a expected goals ratio, right?
It's basically what percentage of the expected goals did you get? You apply it to a percentage, and it's like, all right, if you play that exact game with the exact same scoring chances, you win that game this percent of the time.
Okay. Nashville. The Oilers had a 60% chance on the deserve to win meter. 60% of it deserve to win. Why would you say?
60% on the deserve to win meter. That's
They
fair.
lost in overtime. Whatever, you got a point. I think that one was the second of a back-to-back, if I'm not mistaken. At Vancouver, they won 68%. New Jersey, they lost 72%. I think that was a 2-1 game. Pittsburgh, they got absolutely smoked, it seemed like. They actually had a 52% chance to win that game, according to Money Puck. Anaheim, somehow 18% won the game. Minnesota, the game Tristan Jarry called out the Oilers, 43% chance of winning. Against Calgary right before the break, 55% chance of winning, they lost. Last night was a 60% chance to win, and they lost. And I know these are just numbers and expected goals, and the puck goes in the net, and that's what actually matters. But the point is, the Oilers are doing a lot in front of Tristan Jarry to win these hockey games, and he's just not winning them.
Correct.
There you go. My closing case.
Rami says, Tyler's not being truthful. He brought all the stats to support why Jarry is a superior goalie, including he's top 5 in accepted save percentage and all that other stuff. Listen, I definitely said there's a path to this trade working, but you can go back, watch the 8 a.m. reaction episode we did. I mean, Aaron, you would have been there. Did I like the trade at first?
Not at all in the slightest. None of us did. We were all shell shook. Now, it's always, when the move is made, Tyler, that's your job to bring some positivity. You can't just be pessimistic from Jump Street. But now, I mean, we've seen a solid sample size here.
I thought it was going to be better. I think right off the bat, I wasn't like that.
And early on, it was very encouraging, and I did. I mean, if you want me to call myself out a little bit, I did change my tune a little bit coming out of those first few games.
Because he was playing well.
Because he played well.
And the goal, I think even the stats on that side were a bit unfortunate too, because obviously it was just a couple of late goals in that game, which I think flipped his numbers a bit more negatively than they deserve to be. And then all of a sudden, he's just come back from his injury, and it's been not even close to the right standard. And it's just bad. It's just really, really bad. And they obviously have to run a little bit with Ingram here. There's no way he doesn't play tonight. Either way, he was playing tonight. But you have to play him against San Jose as well. I don't know. He's almost unplayable in a way.
That's a damning thing to be saying at this point in the experiment.
Do you think it's wrong to say?
No, and I'm going back through those first couple of games, and like with the context of his struggles now in our view, I'm looking at some of these goals against in the Toronto game, his debut, and I'm going like, oh man, if that is...
It wasn't the first one a bit of a softie, or was it the second one?
Kind of all were. All of them have a bad rebound incorporated in there in some way, except for the last one. That game against Pittsburgh that they won 6-4. First one, he kicked out an absolutely brutal rebound, and it got hammered home. The second one here, I'm watching it live, down low, cross on a power play, up top, shot from the point right through his legs. Like, I don't know, man. You can go back, and people can go back themselves through Jarry's game logs and watch all these goals against themselves, but like, shot from the point, bad rebound, in. Those are the 3 goals, and then he gave up the late one against Pittsburgh, so we won't even blame him on that. Yeah. So, like, legitimately, 6 of the first 8 goals that he gave up as an Edmonton Oiler were either rebounds or shots from the point.
But one thing I remember about those games, too, is that he was making big saves in those games as well.
Sure.
Like the Toronto game, couple of breakaways. Pittsburgh, it felt like he was getting those saves as well. It's just not coming right now. And you got to sit him out. He just had a 3-week break, obviously, but you gotta roll with Ingram here for the next little bit.
It's Connor Ingram's crease till it's not, man. Yeah, and I know that's like a whatever thing to say, but like that's the guy, Connor Ingram, and that again ties into what pisses me off about the trade is that you went out and got Connor Ingram. I gotta stop watching these Jarry goals. I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm. You went out and got Connor Ingram, and you never even took a chance. Because, like, that was the thing with Ingram. It was, like, off the scrap heap, let him get up to speed, and you know what? You might have just found your guy for future considerations. Holy shit. Mm-hmm. You didn't even give him a chance before you made this panic trade for Tristan Jarry. And it's not like Tristan Jarry wouldn't have been available a month later. Pittsburgh would have traded you Tristan Jarry right now. They're clearly still selling off, trying to get rid of money. Or selling off assets.
Yeah, you're probably right there.
It felt so pointless at the time to do it then, especially because Skinner was coming off a couple of good games.
He was on a hot streak. He definitely was. What I'll say to that, too, is the team was playing really well in front of him. It just doesn't seem to be a lot of trust there right now between, I think, Jarry and the team in front of him. And obviously there's a lack of, they don't know each other.
Yeah.
It's not been that long to build
but
that
is he acclimating himself to his teammates well when he comes out there and talks about how, the rebounds I kick out are all ending up in the back of the net. And, maybe I could try to see around the screens in front of me.
Well, even the one yesterday, it's tough out there.
It's tough.
The Leo Carlson goal, was it Nurse and Bouchard, I think, whoever it was, should they have covered him up a little bit better? Of course. But also, too, if you watch it, like, Jarry, like, weirdly overcommits out of his net. And, like, that rebound is, like, kind of forced into that spot. He's just said, here you go. Like, look how far, it seems like he's really far out there to me. Like, Terrible. He doesn't need to be in that position.
And he kicks it instead of just stopping it.
Yeah, it wasn't a very hard shot, and then it gets out there, and it's just like, I understand your teammates. Like the line, what was it? Bouchard and I think that might be McDavid, to be honest. Whoever it is, it doesn't matter. They need to obviously be ready for that, but also, why is that puck ended up there?
So Hutz talks to me about this a lot. Like
Okay.
he helps me break down these goals, and even ones where maybe you sit there and go like, ooh, like people are saying that's on the D, whatever. That puck should never be kicked there.
Yeah.
And one thing Hutz talks to me a lot about is moving outside of your posts. Like on that Nick Suzuki goal to tie the game up against Czechia in the Olympics, nobody was criticizing Lucas Dostal because it was like, oh, what a great deflection, right? It went from an outside hip to right through the goalie's legs. But Hutz says you go watch that, and an NHL goalie, an NHL coaching staff, NHL players watch that and go, what the hell are you doing? Because why are you sprawling out to potentially stop a puck that's going to go wide? There's no reason to protect the outside of the net.
You kind of tuck up to the post a bit more, I guess.
Because
on that scenario,
because the puck can't go in if it's going wide of the net.
Yeah,
don't
of course.
protect that.
It's not a shot on goal.
Protect your team. Protect between your posts. And you watch that goal there for Jarry. What's he's out of control.
Yeah.
And I mean that in like a very technical way, but like, why is he sliding so far out like that? They can't score if it gets that far. Be disciplined almost, and like it's lazy to an extent, right? To slide that far out and just be like, I think he's gonna hit me and I'm gonna hold on to it. Okay, I'm gonna just kick out this rebound instead of doing. It was a lazy play by Jarry, and you can say it's on the D, whatever. They also are not expecting their goalie to just kick a rebound into the slot. That's like a conscious reflex that Jarry would make. I know that's a bit of like an oxymoron, but it is.
I think too, like, it's also a lack of confidence play. He's already allowed a couple goals in that moment, but I just think in that time, like, what was that, minute 13 into the period? Like, your team's just gone up by 2 goals at the end. They've regained that lead. Like, they need you to relax and just like be in the moment and play. 'Cause he's capable, but for whatever reason right now, he's just lacking a lot.
Well, what's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Everyday, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.